here at 55 Lumber Road Garage in Roslyn, and I'm happy to be joined by Howard Kroplik, author, historian, and proud owner of living history of the Vanderbilt Cup races. And Howard, today I want to talk about the cars that actually ran these races. You can't have a race without a car.
Right.
And today we are going to look at, what are we going to look at today?
We're looking at the 1909 Alco Black Beast race.
This is the racer.
This is the racer. This is the car that won the Vanderbilt Cup races in 1909 and 1910. And it's a historic car. It's one of the only Vanderbilt Cup race cars that is on the road today.
Let's take a look at some of the differences between then and now. And the first thing I notice is there's two seats.
There's two seats. It took two people to drive this car. It was the driver and the mechanician. The mechanician was the navigator. It also was very responsible for pumping the fuel.
What were some of the dangers that the driver, the mechanician faced when they drove?
Well, the biggest problem was the car turning over. You can see in this car there's no seat belts, and they felt it was safer to be thrown from the car. So you really didn't want to get pinned underneath this car. And again, stopping was always a bit of a challenge.
Well, Howard, we've talked about the cars, but we need a race. It's a 30-mile track. How do you know who wins?
These were time trials, so they would leave on 1 minute to 2 minute intervals, and it was really which car can complete 10 laps at a time.
Now, there's a phrase that they use in racing today that I think stemmed from the Vanderbilt races, and that's pit stop.
Yes. One of the first pits ever was in the Vanderbilt Cup races. That was in the 1908 race.
These are actual pits?
They were actually pits, and the servicemen were underneath the ground there, and they would service the cars.
I guess also the time-honored tradition of the winner crossing the finish line.
Yes, the first use of a checkered flag was in the 1906 Vanderbilt Cup race.
With grandstand seating at a premium, the crowds filled every available space, jamming themselves to the edges of the course. It was a recipe for disaster.
This is the first auto races they've ever seen in their lives, and invariably the crowds would go onto the course to view the cars. And unfortunately in 1906, one spectator went in the middle of the Jericho Turnpike and got hit by a car and was killed.
Well, the future of the Vanderbilt Cup race is in question. Good thing Vanderbilt already had the answer.